Hey, Devon, how are you doing?
Hi, Bonnie. I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Great to get to talk to you today. I think we talked for Bounty Hunters way back when, but I can't keep straight who I talked to, but I'm pretty sure we did. But
Okay.
but I digress. We have a new movie to talk about now. First of all, congratulations on your performance, man. I was just talking to Parker, and holy crap, my heart went out, first of all, to both of you. But it's such a heartbreaking story. And there's so much to unpack here. So I wanted to start with you because, not only is it timely, but it's a very unique script. And I wanted to know when you got it, what kind of stood out for you? What touched your heart immediately about it?
Yeah, I think anytime people are in the midst of trying to make a difficult decision, but still holding so much love and space for that other person,
Mm,
and sometimes it requires stepping away from them, like Anna does with Sam for a little while.
yeah,
And it's not because she doesn't care about him, it's because of the enormity of this decision and, you know, its long-term possible effects.
yeah,
Also think it's interesting to have a story that is not completely, even though both decisions are totally valid, and that is the beauty of choice, but this is not a movie where we're immediately, oh my gosh, I want to have a family and I'm 100% in that camp, or I absolutely know that I do not want to have this baby. And so we spend the entire movie on that course.
right,
But,
right.
so much of life is this difficult nuance and this painful gray area. And so I think the fact that we spend so much time in there with the two of
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
and the fact that this is centered mostly around Sam, and bless his heart, we feel for the kid and we know that he is genuinely a good person, but it is tough to be that age and have to make this kind of choice, and you don't always make the best decisions under that kind of pressure.
No. And
So
that's exactly what I was saying to him because my heart went out. I said, he starts off like it's great intentions. You can tell like he's a good-hearted guy, just wants to do the best. But sometimes we take the wrong routes because we're so desperate. He needed to get some money and you take that wrong path and it happens. But I was also saying that I just thought the script was written so well. Like the way that the characters just like the arc of the characters is so great. You just kind of don't know where it's going to go. And I just felt that compelling. Was that something that, you thought, wow, like really well written script here. I can really dig myself into this.
yeah, absolutely. I am, as an actor, I get so much of my energy and my inspiration from writing. That is
Yeah.
like the first and foremost thing for me as an actor. And so, we don't always get to choose the projects that we end up in. But when we do, yeah, it is really, really lovely. To be working with a script and with a writer like Tony, who has the game plan and knows what he wanted to say and had this script, but is also flexible
Mhm.
too. And second after writing for me is a collaborative director.
Right.
Um, and that is, yeah, just such a gift to be able to work with. And so Tony was very generous with us as actors, especially since this is so sort of grounded in slice of life ish, that yeah, was flexible if we wanted to change a word here or there, or
Yeah.
let's try the scene this way and see if that flows a little better. So yeah, very lucky on those two
Yeah, I
fronts.
was wondering too, because as you said, it doesn't go one way or the other way. And then as soon as she said she was pregnant, I'm like, oh no, please don't be an abortion movie. But then I was thinking, well, that's really timely right now, especially in the United States. And that can, it happens. People like get a grip, right? But it's from the perspective of the guy, mostly, right? We don't get to
Mhm.
see that very often and what the guys are going through. Like we know this is extremely traumatic for both parties involved, but you always get to see how the girl, like what's happening. Should I have it? Shouldn't I have it? What do I do? Do I go away from home? Do my parents kick me out? But this time it's from his perspective. That was really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, and I know some people might initially sort of balk at that idea,
Hmm.
but I think that there is a great beauty in that because even though we wish that the world were a little different,
Yeah,
there might be some young men out there who turn away from some of these more traditional sort of teen pregnancy stories because, oh, it's a chick flick, or, oh, it might
yeah,
be
yeah,
viewed that way in their eyes. So, yeah, if we can reach a sort of different audience with this and reach them with a story that's very nuanced and a character, a protagonist that, ultimately is wrestling with what it means to be a man and
hmm,
how do we define masculinity? And yeah, anything that can encourage more communication among young men and the people in their lives, like
yeah.
I'm all for that, even though it may seem, a little more non-traditional.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's pretty gritty, and especially that he's also wrestling with the fact that he kind of just doesn't know who he is. His father left him when he was young, and am I going to be the same kind of dad? And what should I do? I just found the topics in this really compelling and very realistic.
yeah, and the fact that, he thinks that the one thing that is gonna the key to unlocking all of this is this other man in his life, and he eventually finds that no, actually the
Mm,
key is in me and in the other women in my life.
yes.
Those are the people who are going to teach me how to be a man,
Yep.
is women, is
Yeah.
not this other guy who I've put up on this pedestal. And so yeah, I think that's like one of the most beautiful parts of this movie.
Yeah, very supportive mother, and yeah, you're right. Yeah, and like I said, it was really well done, really well written. How did you like working with Parker? I mean, he's a newbie. You're a veteran compared to him.
Um, it was so lovely, for a number of reasons. A, he's just so naturally gifted,
Yeah,
and it is also fun to work with someone who maybe does have a little less experience because they're not jaded and they're not tied down by all these other expectations and these ideas of whatever this industry is, and have such yeah, a passion for like getting to work on their first bigger project, and it just like flows a little more naturally out of them sometimes.
yeah,
And the great thing about Parker is that he was honestly so much younger than me. I am already an actor who was a fair amount older than the character that I was playing, and
right.
so that is, as someone who tends to play younger, that is always my, main struggle as an actor, is getting out of my own brain and
Right.
tapping into this more emotional younger side. And so
Yeah.
to have somebody like Parker who was so much closer to that and just sort of carried that a little more naturally, definitely helped me.
Yeah. What do you look for now when you get scripts? Is there anything particularly that you want to try and, get into?
I'm lucky. I can be a teeny tiny bit more discerning, just a little bit. I'm not quite there. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I sort of mentioned previously, I really, really look at the writing, and I think I just like a lot of actors probably do. I just think, for better or for worse, I listen to it a little more. As soon as
Mhm.
I read the sides, or if I ever have access to a full script, um, the quality of the writing is like beyond that. I'm down to tell any exciting story. But yeah, I really love great writing, and I have, yeah, just that natural sort of barometer where I know immediately, do I connect to this or do I not? So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited for whatever great story I get to tell next.
That's amazing. And just like we have a few more minutes, but like I said, we met first time at Teenage Bounty Hunters, which is obviously people are still discovering it on Netflix. The beauty of Netflix, you can just tune in and like it's brand new to somebody. But I
Yeah,
loved watching you in that. First of all, you got to play the meanie, and that's always fun. But you must have had a real fun time, and it was such a good cast too.
I had the time of my life working on that. I mean, we have talked about how lovely the cast and crew were on Icon, and Teenage Bounty Hunters was exactly the same. It was such a supportive environment, and I
Yeah.
felt, even though it was very exciting, I had not worked on a character or a project of that scale, so I was very out of my depth. And I always felt very held and supported by
Yeah.
everyone around me. And again, on that, like the writing on Bounty Hunters was what caught my eye. When I got those audition sides, I was like, I have to do this because this writing is something I have
Yeah.
not seen before.
It's a great
Um,
series. I liked it a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. So anything coming up next that we should know about other than Icon?
Icon on August 1st.
Yeah.
And yeah, other than that, my job is auditioning, and
Good.
I am very lucky to have representation here in Atlanta and on the
Yeah.
West Coast. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just excited for whatever is next.
Oh, there'll be lots coming up next. I'll be talking to you again for sure. We'll be old pals by the end of this all. So
I
thank you
hope
so
so.
much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time, Devin. You did a really great job in this film, and have a lovely rest of your day today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Okay, bye-bye.